Hey there, educators. Welcome to another Explainer. I'm so glad you've carved out a few minutes of your busy day to join me. Today, we're stepping right into the absolute heart of literacy instruction to look at a fundamental concept from the science of reading. We're focusing on the letter C, and C is for the components of reading. Think of our time today as a little mentor session, just you, me, and a focused look at how we can help our readers truly thrive.
So let's just dive right in with a question I know we've all asked ourselves, probably while looking out at our classrooms or poring over the latest assessments. Why does reading feel so hard for some of our students? Take a second to really think about that. It's a shared reality for all of us in education, right? We see these kids putting in tremendous effort, but the text on the page, it just remains this locked door.
I saw this firsthand back when I taught the third grade early intervention program. A lot of my students came to me with massive reading gaps. Some were struggling with decoding. Others really lacked fluency. Some just couldn't grasp the meaning of what they were reading. And honestly, the most heartbreaking part? Some of them had completely lost confidence because reading had just always felt so incredibly hard for them. They'd essentially decided they simply weren't readers.
Looking at those brilliant but frustrated third graders, the reality hit me like a ton of bricks. I absolutely could not teach them all the exact same way and expect the same results. I couldn't just teach one single piece of reading instruction and just cross my fingers that everyone caught on. I had to understand the whole picture, the whole shebang. I had to assess, plan, teach, and then adjust.
And really, that brings us to our core idea for today. The science of reading reminds us that reading instruction has to be comprehensive. The components of reading aren't just a list of dry vocabulary terms. They're a collection of essential, interconnected skills required to become a strong reader. Because reading isn't just one single skill. It's like a giant puzzle of skills that have to be taught, practiced, strengthened, and beautifully connected.
Let's think about how these essential skills actually build on each other in a student's journey. It literally starts with the ear. Phonological and phonemic awareness help students hear and manipulate sounds way before they ever even look at print. Then, phonics connects those sounds to letters, which unlocks unfamiliar words so they aren't just left guessing. From there, fluency allows them to read smoothly enough to actually make meaning. Vocabulary builds the word knowledge they need to grasp the text. Comprehension is the ultimate goal, right? Thinking deeply about what's read. And writing? Well, writing gives students another powerful way to process and express all that reading. When even one part of this chain is missing, reading becomes so much harder than it needs to be.
So, here is the absolute game changer. Targeted instruction requires a diagnostic mindset. Students do not all struggle with reading for the exact same reason. When we deeply understand these specific components, we can finally stop guessing. We can pinpoint the exact area of need and provide instruction that is precise, targeted, and incredibly effective. We literally shift from wondering what's wrong to knowing exactly how to help.
And man, the transformation you see when you apply that diagnostic mindset, it's undeniable. In my own classroom, the growth was just amazing. Students who used to just guess at words actually began to actively decode them. Kids who used to read in this robotic, word-by-word way began reading with expression and flow. They started explaining their thinking. Best of all, they started to see themselves as readers again.
So how do we make that happen in the real world? Well, we build an action plan. We use our small group instruction to target what our students actually need. If a student's specific component need is phonics, our instructional focus goes straight to decoding and studying letter patterns. If they need fluency, we actively practice phrasing and rereading. If the gap is in vocabulary and comprehension, we spend our precious time building language and meaning together. We watch them closely, we study their errors, and we match our instruction directly to that missing piece of the puzzle.
But hey, this doesn't just happen in isolation at a kidney table. We're supporting all these components throughout the entire day. We weave them into our daily literacy routines. We use explicit instruction. We embed them right into our read-alouds, our vocabulary discussions, and spelling tasks. Reading and writing should literally never be separate in the classroom. They continually strengthen each other. The whole goal is to help our kids seamlessly experience how all parts of literacy work together.
Okay, before we wrap up today, I want us to take a quick teacher reflection moment. Think about your classroom tomorrow morning. Picture the specific students who are currently struggling. Ask yourself, which specific component of reading do they need the most support with right now? Is it the sounds? Is it decoding? Fluency? Just take a brief second to picture them and try to pinpoint it.
And for a second reflection, what is the one idea you're going to remember or apply from this explainer? Maybe it's shifting away from a one-size-fits-all approach, or maybe it's carving out more explicit time to connect writing with reading. Try to anchor this theory into a very practical step for your classroom tomorrow.
I want to leave you with this really empowering thought. A strong reading classroom does not leave these components to chance. It teaches them, it connects them, it uses them to move students forward. You see, the growth you want to see, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of intentional educators just like you. So as you look at your lesson plans for tomorrow, ask yourself, which piece of the reading puzzle are you going to help a student connect next? Thank you so much for your dedication to architecting comprehensive readers, and I seriously can't wait to share our next explainer with you soon. Keep up the incredible work.